We were going through the series Ashpadiyan, and the last Ashpadi, the 29th, we concluded that मैं जुग जुग दै सेवड़ी गुरकट्टी बहंडी जेवड़ी हाँ बाहर सिंज न नचऊं नानक अवसर लद्दा भाल जियो. And the message was that once I understood the purpose of life, I sought the guidance of the Master who has been already there. And I recognized with the help of the Master that this lifetime, this opportunity is so precious that it should not be wasted, it should not be ignored. That's where with this message, Ashpadiyan was concluded. And now we start on a new topic. But the new topic is not random in nature, it has a relationship with the previous topic where it finished. It concluded that this is the moment. Nanak Avsar Ladda Bhal Jiyo. Avsar means the chance, the turn, the moment to take advantage of. What are the moments in human life? What are the significant milestones? Why is this moment more important than any other? To answer that question, the next series starts. Shri Rag Mehla Pehla, Pehrey Ghar Pehla. Pehra. Pehr literally means the time. The 24 hours of the day and night are divided into 8 pehr. Each pehr means for about 3 hours. Now that's a physical explanation of word pehr. But pehr, same way, in human life, there are events. As the time moves in the life, the various events come into the focus. So what is the very first event that comes into the focus in the human journey? And the hymn starts by saying, Pehle pehre rain ke vanjarya. Pehle, the first milestone. What is the first time? What is the first milestone in your journey? Rain ke vanjarya. Vanjara literally means the one who is in business. Vanjara literally translated is a businessman. Someone who has come, someone who has started a certain business, certain transactions. He is going to sell something, buy something. And the question is, are you selling and buying at profit or at a loss? So this whole sequence will walk us through the milestones in the journey. Pehle pehre rain ke vanjarya mitra hukam paya garbhas. The first milestone. Hukam, his will. What did his will do? Paya Garbhas. Garbhas mean pregnancy. Garbh means the uterus. The entrance into the uterus. That's the first thing. Male and female energy joining together on a journey, starting a process of an other human creation. And that is according to the will. And you might now stop here and say, well, why it is according to the will? The male and female are mating there, so the end result is going to be. And the answer is no, it doesn't have to be. It is not always the case. It is only when he wills it. Male and female do not have a control over it. They cannot predestine it. They cannot predict it. They cannot promise it. They cannot guarantee it. They can only hope. They can only wish. That's why it is his will. It's not unlike. That's why female is in our culture compared to the earth, Mother Earth. What's the reason for this? Why is Mother and Earth the same? Because looking at it, the characteristics are the same. When the farmer tills the earth and plants a seed, there's nothing the farmer can do now for the seed to become a plant, for the plant to give a fruit. There's nothing he can do other than tend to the earth. That's it. There will be few seed which will just get lost into the ground. There will be few seed which will be eaten by the birds. There will be few seeds which will be trampled by the animals. There will be very few seeds that will become the plant. And the farmer or the earth neither can predict which seed will become the plant. Human journey is exactly the same way. The female, the earth, is ready. Every cycle, the egg is produced and starts traveling through the fallopian tubes. The male is ready, and every time there is a union, there is a possibility of the two meeting, but it's completely unpredictable. So Gurbani explains this to us, because somewhere along the line the parents are going to develop the illusion and say, this is my child, I produced it. And Gurbani is on the onset of it is alerting and warning and see, look, you may have been the instrument, but you are not the doer. If you are the doer, you should have been able to have it to predict it, guarantee it, but you couldn't. Hence, yes, the child came through you, but it doesn't belong to you. This is your illusion that you have taken it to be so. It's mine, it came out of my body, it's my blood, and it's my thing that caused this thing to grow. Same illusion with the father. This is my seed. That's why the male identification became so important in some cultures where the male child is known by the father's name. And Gurbani, by just putting one word, is shattering all of those illusions right in the beginning and saying, पहले पहरे रैन के वन जारिया मित्रा हुक्म पया घरबास. It was his will, not your doing. Okay, so his will brought you into the physical dimension. And at that time, though, when you have yet not been exposed to the outer maya, outer illusionary world, outer world of sensuality, you knew that is a grace, that is a prasad. How did you recognize that? The next line says, Urad tap kare vanjareya mitra. What a beautiful, Raji was just explaining a painting from that she was doing. Look at what a word painting is being created for us. You can imagine, it says, that child who's in the uterus of the mother knows that, remembers that, acknowledges that. How? Urad tap kare. You are in meditation. You are remembering with every breath. Which breath? It's not yet born. Stand on and hold it. If you are not born, it doesn't mean your body is not breathing. Your body is breathing in and out, except the mechanism is slightly different. And what is that? Well, we all know the child is joined at the center with the female body. Umbilical cord. Through the umbilical fluid, as the mother breathes, the oxygen is being supplied to the entire body. So, yes, you are not breathing, but the mother is. And through that fluid, you are getting the life energy. Okay, so that's one part of it. Where's the second part? Well, second part is that when the body consumes the energy and sends the unconsumed part out, you are sending it out, not the mother. Mother is only sending her unconsumed energy out. You are sending your unconsumed energy out. And every time you breathe out, you cannot breathe in, but every time you breathe out, you are remembering him. You are saying his name. You are with his memory. That's called urad tap. Urad means the breath to go out. Ardha means the breath to go in. That's why we have talked about the abhyas, the practice of ardh urad din raat. Remember him with your breath going in, remember him with your breath going out. That's ardh urd abhyas. So Gurbani points out here, says, urad tap kare vanjarya mitra. By breathing out, at every breath out, what are you doing? You say, Khasam seti ardas. You are in a complete gratitude mood to that creative energy for that opportunity, for the gift of that body. You seem to have a question. Yeah, it's not contradictory to that. You sitting over there may desire these to be your parents, but the implementation of that desire is not within your control, right? You can only wish it. Well, and now you are getting trapped into the language. I'm saying, when these relations are made, we are bringing the spirituality and physicality closer. So at the highest level, the spiritual level, it is His will. As we keep on coming to the next lower dimensions, our freedom of choice comes into play. The body and the parental choices are ours. Not the fact that we are born, because that is a law that He has already made. You are going to be born if you have not transcended the cycle. So you don't have the choice there. Exactly. The blessing of that energy. Yeah, you gave me these parents. You gave me these brothers and sisters. You gave me this. So Gurbani is saying that at the start of your journey, you are fully aware of this and you acknowledge that also. In the uterus of the mother, you are in a complete prayerful mood. And it'll walk us through step by step and say, I'll tell you where you are going to forget. So first state is what? Urd tap kare vanjarya mitra khasam seti ardas. You are in a gratitude and prayerful mood. Khasam seti ardas vakhane urd dhyan live laga. At that moment, you are not mindful of your parents. You are not mindful of any relations. You are not mindful of any choices that you have made, which will manifest when you come on. At that moment, you are only mindful of one thing. He accepted my prayer. The creative energy allowed me to have this body. And I am grateful for that body. I'm in gratitude. When? While you are in the uterus of the mother, you are not aware of the physical body. You are only conscious completely of your complete mental state. And when you are aware of that and you keep thinking of this, at that moment, what happened? Na marzad aya kal bhitar bahod jasi naga. At that time, you are aware that in this dimension, you are going to get in without anything. Nanga means no clothes on. And you are going to get out of this world the same way. And you know the process. You are aware of it. That this has been an opportunity provided to me. For a certain time frame, I am being given this vehicle to take this journey with a certain special purpose. जैसी कलम बुड़ी है मस्तक तैसी जियड़े पास कहो नानक प्राणी पहले पहरे हुक्म पया गरबास. And here is the answer to your question. जैसी कलम बुड़ी है मस्तक. The choices that you made, why you chose that parent, why you chose this particular type of body, you are aware of it. And you know what journey I am going to go on. The moment the egg and the sperm meets and start growing, the consciousness is aware of that experience as the journey grows, and it is watching the body's growth. And as the body becomes capable of breathing out, it is using that breath to remember Him. So the moment of conception, through the birth, You have the memory of why this body was given to me. You also have the answers to the questions, which is, why did I choose this life drama? Why these parents? Why these brothers, sisters? Why this lover? Why this husband? Why this wife? All those questions do not exist in your mind because you already know the answer. How do you know the answer? जैसी कलम बुड़ी है मस्तक तैसी जियड़े पास. You made those choices. You know why you are in a relationship, whether you are to receive something or to give. You are there to burn certain karmic threads, and you know all of them.
What does this mean? जैसी कलम बुड़ी
Kalam.
वो ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਿਆ. That is what you have. Wouldn't that mean that?
Nah. And that's how the words sound, and that's what the people do. Yeah. That's why you fall into the trap. If that was the case, the freedom of choice goes out of the door and the whole of the story collapses. Whole of the story collapses. That's why you have to be very alert and not fall into the trap of the languages. Jaisi kalam budi hai mastak. Kalam literally means a pen to write. Who's writing? You are, not he. You made those choices. And they got written. They became part of your consciousness. Jisnu kehndे this is your sanskar. जिस तरह ਦੇ ਸੰਸਕਾਰ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ, the kind of memories you have collected, they are with you. Based on those memories, you are now, after you reviewed the memories and said, I need to build on this, this is good. I need to correct this, this is not that good. But to do both, I need the body.
Sanskar is memory. Sanskar is not what.
Well, I'm using two different words to describe the same thing. Sanskar literally means what you have done. How does it remain with you? It becomes a memory. Where is the memory? It is in your consciousness. It's in your astral body. That's where it is recorded. Okay. Now, if the astral body still exists, that means you haven't evolved to the cosmic level. If you haven't evolved to the cosmic level, you have to come back. That choice is not available to you. Now, when you are coming back and you're saying, in order to take care of these karmic threads, I need this physical body again. And he grants that wish to you and say, yeah, you got the physical body again. How does he grant the wish? He allows the egg and the sperm to meet. A particular egg, a particular sperm. In a particular time and space. In that intersection, you will get particular parents, particular siblings, particular everything else. What will be that driving that? Your karmic threads. Tasi jiyade pass. You bring that back. That is what explains why two children born to the same parents are different. That's why. Why two humans are not exactly alike? That's why. Why my doing meditation for 30 years haven't done what somebody's meditation of 3 years has done? Well, his starting point is somewhere different. My starting point was something different. That's why when we say, if everybody becomes a saint, what will happen to the world? The answer is, everybody will never become the saint at the same time. Forget about it. That is an excuse of the mind to not to do anything. Ajit सारे संत बन जान दुनिया कितना चले. Don't worry about that dunya. The world isn't designed that way. It's not within your control. You have brought your consciousness and your memories with you. Just deal with them. Hence, that message that came in the beginning, Hukam Razai Chalana. Hey, if this is happening, it is supposed to happen. I am at peace with it. How can I be peace with it? My body is aching. I have a cancer. I can't get out of it. How can I be at peace with it? Aha. Therein lies the problem. And Gurbani will talk about that in the next phase. He says, at the first phase, you do not have any question. There is no doubt in your mind. All you are doing is what? Khasam seti ardas vakhane urd dhyan live laga. You are really focused on Him, His grace, because your wish is so small and that grace is so big that you cannot even compare the two. So what happens? Kaho Nanak, prani pehle pehre hukum paya garbaj. Now you are in the uterus and your body is growing up. Second milestone in your life. दूजे पहरे रहन के वणजारिया मित्रा विसर गया ध्यान. So now, second thing. You couldn't stay inside the mother's body any longer. Even though you did not want it. And as a matter of fact, it has been observed that most of the mothers don't want it. Some don't want it because the process is painful. And the others don't want it because they like the idea of being that way. I was reading an interview with Angelina Jolie. She's pregnant with twins. And she says, I like to be pregnant all the time. I like this feeling. So why? I know my body from within because of the child inside. As the child moves, I feel my every muscle and I go into such a happy state that as if all of those parts of my body are serving the child. I talked to a doctor and she said, I always go to the hospital and tell her, the day she kicked me in my liver. Last night she was kicking in my spine. Because as a doctor I know which part of the body is stressful, and from the outside we are never aware of where the liver is. Who knows? Even does the doctor is aware of where my liver is? So, but when the child moves and it touches us, that's where liver is. From outside, I am being given the experience of being inside through my kid. Only female body has that capability. It's amazing. That's why Gurbani said, So kyo manda akhiye. Jit jamme rajan. Rajan never meant Raja. That was contentment. Raj jana. Complete ho jana. By becoming a mother, she is now complete. She is contented. She has created something that's alive and breathing. She has no desire to run around and get up in the morning and find out who won the game last night or what the stock market is. She gets up in the morning and sees how the kid's smiling or not. A male energy is always missing something. A female energy is always complete, just blessed by the creative energy. That's the way it is. It's not your decision, it's not your choice. But what happened? This was not your choice, you had to come out. of that body. When you came, then what happened? Now you are cut off from there. Well, why I am cut off? It says, look, hatho hath nachaye vanjarya mitra. And then now you have become a toy for everybody around. Nobody is letting you sit or lie down. They are keeping you in their hands. They are just passing you on. You are being pampered so much. You are having so much fun. Why would you remember him? हथों हथ नचाइए वणजारिया मित्रा ज्यों जसोदा घर कान. As if you are the Krishna born to Yashoda. Jasoda means Yashoda. Every child is treated like an avatara. Even the he or she is or not is irrelevant. That's why we say, ask any mother, there is not an ugly child yet. The outsider might say, wow, what an ugly child. Mother can have. यूं जसुदा घर कान हथों हथ नचाइए प्राणी मात कहे सुत मेरा. See, the very first line भूल गई ना. हुक्म पाया घरवास वाली line भूल गई. And what happened? Immediately mother declared, this is my child. She forgot that she had no contribution in it. Everything was a loan. Everything was a gift, a grace. But she put a stamp. Now when she puts a stamp, child is going to build on that. Right? When mother says, my child, my daughter, my son, what's going to be the response? My mom. And you can do that experiment with the child. If they are capable of saying just even not any word, you just pick the child out of the lap of the mother and say, you stay there, this is my mother. And try to act like a child in the presence of the child to that mother and watch the reaction of the child. Where did it come from? Who taught it? Mother's claim. See? Huh? True? The mother's responsibility to tend to the needs of the child are not more than a nurse who's tending to the patient who cannot take care of the self. Child cannot take care of the self. Have you ever seen a patient getting attacked with a nurse? The way a child attaches with a mother? And that's the point being made here. The moha, the attachment developing. If the mother was to remember that this is my responsibility, I have to play the role of a mother, not be the mother. That's a distinction. If she was to develop that energy within, that I am playing the role of the mother, you will find the relationship between the child and the mother will be of a different quality. See, it is our illusion. Well, if the mother doesn't do it, then the child is going to die. No child dies. I can guarantee you that. There are mothers who die during childbirth. The child don't die. They are taken care of. It is the quality of taken care of that the Gurbani is talking about. He's saying the attachment, the sense of ownership, sense of belonging. That is what is taking the human consciousness in moha. And who is taking the first initiative? Mother. हथों हथ नचाइए प्राणी मात कहे सुत मेरा चेत अचेत मूड मन मेरे अंत नहीं कछ तेरा. See the message? How clear it is. That's the first mistake a human makes. That is why the entire culture in every world cultures hold the mother responsible for the child's upbringing. And she fights back, saying, I'm not responsible. This thing he's getting from you. Don't we say that? Or he's getting from your so and so. हम तेरा चाचियां ते गया मेरे वड्डे वीर नूं वेख उस तरह दा है. Antra the matlab just the one who does not have any to extend his name further. That's considered as a rebuke. Antra the matlab you without children. No, yeah, it's just yeah. In certain part of the world, not in certain other part of the world. Yeah. No, it all depends what importance to give to a certain, but that's not the point. I'm saying that these are our colloquial linguistic way of saying these things. And we all know that you cannot go against the nature. These are the natural laws. These are the natural instincts. And Gurbani is saying, Chet achet mood man mere. Chetanta cha. Become alert. Oh my sleeping mind, wake up. You already know, you have been told, nothing really belongs to you. Because if it did, it would have come with you and it should have gone back with you. If you owned it. Nothing came with you, nothing goes back with you. So, ant nahi kach tera. Why are you putting this claim? It's a false claim. It's going to become the root of your suffering. And we can talk to any mother today about their own children, and they will have few complaints to tell you what have disappointed them in their own children. The reason why they are hurt because the child did not behave in this way. Why is that hurt? Because that wasn't really love. That was attachment. And attachment always leads to hurt. If it is love, it cannot result in hurt. Impossible. Love is God, God is love. Oh, come on now, you are being very, very theoretical. No, sir. I am being very realistic. If you want to experience love, and you are finding disappointment and hurt, then question your own love, not the other. Because if you are in love, you cannot get hurt. It's not possible. That's not the quality of love. And that's what Gurbani is saying. चेत अचेत मूड मन मेरे अंत नहीं कछ तेरा. Because you are putting a claim on something that really does not belong to you, you are putting the seeds of your misery in the coming days. Learn to recognize that. जिन रच रचया तिसे न जाने मन भीतर धर ज्ञान. This is a drama created by somebody else. Why don't you remember it? Why don't you internalize it? Why don't you keep inside you? कहो नानक प्राणी दूजे पहरे विसर गया ध्यान. But you don't. And slowly you start going, drifting further and further apart. Okay. तीजे पहरे रैन के वन जारिया मित्रा तन जोबन स्यों चित. Now the third milestone. You are grown up and you are experiencing the changes in your physical body. In order to enjoy that physical body, which is youth, Joban literally means youth, what you need? You need money, wealth. So now you're going to get focused on the two. You have forgotten about where you came from, for what purpose you came. All that has been forgotten, and now you are focused on youth and the wealth. धन जोबन स्यों चित हर का नाम ना चेत ही वन जा रहा मित्रा बद्दा छुट्टे जित. For the purpose for which you had come. Because the karmic threads, majority of them could have been taken care of in any body, animal or a bird, or it does not matter what. You could have played mother as a animal also. You could have played a sibling as an animal also. There was another added purpose to this, which you forgot. What was the other purpose? हर का नाम न चेत ही. You are not remembering him. You are not devoting any time for his memory, for his that was the purpose of it. Badda chutte jit. Had you done that, you would have been able to free yourself of this compulsion of taking a body again and again. Baddha means you are bound to take that body again and again. You could have freed yourself had you remembered, which is what? Harka naam. Since you didn't do that, Harka naam na chete prani bikal bhaya sang maya धन से रत्ता जोबन माता अहला जन्म गवाया. हर का नाम न चेते प्राणी. Is not at all diverting the attention to his memory, diverting the time and energy to that task. What is happening? Bikal gaya. Bikal bhaya literally means vilkana, to ask for more and more. Why are you asking more? Because that youth that I have, in order to enjoy that youth, I need more and more and more. The whole life, dhan syoratta joban matta. In the memory of the wealth, and in the intoxication of the youth, ahla janma gavaya. Such a beautiful wonderful opportunity got lost. because you got sidetracked. So Gurbani is now tying the child and the mother together and saying, you both are responsible how the life journey would be for you as a mother, for the child. That's why Gurbani constantly reminds us of Dhruv and Prahlad. Those two children whose mother, right in the early childhood, did not hide the fact and said, if you want to be loved and respected and honored, you need to go into his memory. You need to meditate on his name. Mothers put them on the path, and they took the mother's word into the heart. And today, thousands of years later, we use their example as a motivating factor. धर्म से ती व्यापार न कीतो कर्म न कीतो मित कह नानक तीजे पहरे प्राणी धन जोबन से ऊंचे. So you have come here to do some business, Vanjara jo hai, right? But which business you are doing? Say dhan and joban. Which you should have done? Dharm. That business, that vapar, that transaction you should have done. You should have focused on. That you did not do. Dharm se ti vapar na kito, karma na kito mit. You did not become his friend. You did not earn his grace. You tried to make friends into the outer dimension, and what happened then? The whole life got on the track of money, wealth, and enjoyment of the physical sensual pleasures. Dhan joban so chet. Karma means his grace by making him friend or becoming his friend. You did not get his grace by becoming his friend. Mitra. कहो नानक तीजे प्राणे पहरे प्राणी धन जोबन स्यो चित चौथे पहरे रैन के वन जा रहा मित्रा लावी आया खेत. Now what is happening? The last stage. Khet means the body. Lavi means it's now old. It's now ready to move on to the next. That farmland in which you could have been able to sow the seed is now incapable of sowing the seed. Now you want to sit down and do meditation, and the joints are aching so bad, no arthritis medication is helping you. So now you can't say Vaheguru, now you only can say hi. It is an absolute injustice to the human consciousness done by the four divisions of the lifestyle that was given to us: Brahmacharya, Grist, Banprist, and Sannyas. Because you cannot do anything in Sannyas. According to Hindu mythology, the life was divided into four sections. First period, Brahmacharya, meaning thereby stay away from the physical attractions and focus on collecting the knowledge education, learning a technique, etc., to take care of your monetary needs. The next stage is you get married, start raising the family, and start taking care of the family based on what you have learned in the first stage. The third stage was, now when you are raising the family, that family is having the children in the first stage. The third stage is generating their own children. So the one who is in the third stage becomes the mentor to those who are in the first stage, and that's called Banprasth. And when you are done with that, now you take sannyas and do meditation. And the tragedy with that is that the body gives up. Because to do meditation, you need the body intact. You need the body healthy. When the body is aging and various, even if, let's say that you have no disease, there is no arthritis and there is no diabetes and there is no heart problem, etc. But the body is so weak it cannot sit, it cannot walk, it cannot stay awake that long. The muscular motor mechanism is going down and down and down. So whosoever thought that the fourth stage could be dedicated to it was completely off the mark, and it impacted at least the Indian consciousness so badly that this has become almost a mantra. Yeah, we will do it. Let's just finish this task first. Let's take care of this responsibility first. We will get to it. And what happens? It never comes. Most of the one actually disappear in Banprastha alone. They never get to the fourth stage. Right? Average life of a male is what? You got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. No, that's not even female expectancy. No. I think that you must be belonging to insurance. Around 70 or so for the male, about 77 for the female. Yeah, that's about averages. About 70 for the male, about 77 for the female. According to this theory, you are supposed to be in sannyas by the age of 76. अगली बारी संन्यास से शुरू कर लो फिर. Yeah. Until they retire from the active life, they don't go into meditation. Now the problem is that the old habits are so deep, you can't break them. It becomes very difficult. And that's what it is saying here. It says, Chauthe pehre rain ke vanjarya mitra लावी आया खेत जहां जम पकड़ चलाया बन जा रहा मित्रा किसे न मिले पेत. Now you are in the last stage, you couldn't do anything, the last moment came and it basically took you the way you came, the same way you were taken back, and nobody could do anything about it. Nobody could understand what's going on, because everybody is in the same illusion. That's why you have never heard a conversation which will say, this person came, he finished his task and he's gone. Oh no, he was too young. This was not the time yet. He had not done this, he had not done that, he has not done that, etc., etc., etc. That is the only conversation society has when somebody goes away. No, but believe, I'm saying that did a damage to that consciousness, but if you look at this side doesn't believe coming back anyway. So the Gurbani is saying, what happens then? It says, everybody is saying, why did this happen? किसे ना मिले भेद. Everybody thinks this is a secret. What is the secret? You knew from the day one that you have been given a limited time to come here, do certain karmic thread, and then go back. Where is the secret in it? Everybody who comes is going to go back. So why is everybody expressing surprise that the life didn't get accomplished? It didn't get done this, didn't get that, it hasn't seen this, hasn't done that. What is this? This is the self-created delusion. We become delusional. We forget about everything that we knew already. This was going to happen. Everyone knows. Even a child knows. One of the reasons why Western folks like to give the children the pets is because the pets die, so that they can face the death and see the death. So they'll give them a little goldfish. And then the goldfish dies. So she's in heaven. She's in a fish heaven. What is heaven? Well, everybody dies, they go to heaven. Do you want to go to heaven? Then listen to your mother. Do this. What do we do? I can tell you that every time, and I was 18 years of age when I left my home, every time somebody died in our neighborhood, I was always excluded from those conversations. This is for the elderly. You go away, disappear, don't listen here, don't sit here, go play somewhere. Why? Because the death is being discussed. And we do that here also. If you look at the Indian culture, ask them how many parents have taken even their teenage children to a friend's funeral. We don't. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to face it. We don't want to address it. We don't want to discuss it. That topic is taboo. And then we wonder, why is everybody afraid of it? The fear is of the unknown. If we know already this is there and that becomes part of our conscious, why would anybody be afraid of dying? It's a reality, right? Death and taxes are the only reality. Why are we afraid if it's a reality? Because we don't talk about it enough so that the mystique that surrounds it can disappear. So what happens here? पेत चेत हर किसे न मिलियो जां जम पकड़ चलाया झूठा रोदन होया दिवाले खिन मैं भया पराया. Look at the picture. Jhootha rudan. Those who are sitting behind and crying over you, that's all a lie. Why it is a lie? Am I not hurt because somebody is dear to me gone? He said, well, I'll give you a test. If he was so much caring about you, just tell them to go to that room and sit or sleep in that room just for one night. And find out who's willing to go to that room. And it's amazing. I have seen it happen so many times. The afraid of seeing the same person in some sort of a ghost form in that room. That's the basic fear. I can understand somebody being afraid of an unknown ghost. How can you be afraid of the known ghost? If somebody comes to you, let's say that there is a vision in the room where you're lying down, and that vision happens to be your husband. You share the same bed with him for the whole of your life. What's so wrong with it now if he wants to come and sit down in the same bed? You can't do any harm now. There's nobody.
We are mentally conditioned.
And that's the problem. That's the whole thing, is the mental training. That's what we talked about, right? That's what we started the whole journey from, saying, children, right there. We are conditioned that the mother is supposed to behave like that. The child is supposed to behave like that. It's all conditioning. And Gurbani is shaking that foundation up and say, wake up. What will happen? It says, झूठा रुदन होया दुआले खिन में भया पराया. At that very moment, you have become a stranger now. Just as a stranger ghost cannot come closer to you, even your ghost cannot come closer to your own beloveds who said, this is mine. Voti kave meri ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਚਾਨਣ ਆਵਣ ਠੰਡੀਆਂ. ਮਾਂ ਕਹੇ ਜੇ ਰਤਾ ਨਾ ਵੇਖਾਂ ਡੁੱਬਦੇ ਮਰਦੀ ਜਾਵਾਂ. ਜਿਉਂਦੇ ਜੀ ਭਰਾ ਪਏ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਕਰ ਕਰ ਲੰਬੀਆਂ ਬਾਹਾਂ. ਜਦੋਂ ਜਮਾਨੇ ਘੇਰਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਖ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਮੇਲੇ. ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਤੇਰਾ ਬੇਲ. Isn't that amazing? But Diwan Sahib, the more mystery to me is that we all know it. We all talk about it. But when that moment comes, we all forget. Behave exactly the same way. We were just talking on the way. And that's what she was telling me. Yeah, I all know it. But when the time comes, something else takes over. I don't know what. How deep the conditioning is. You may say, yeah, doing this is really not good, and we shouldn't do that. But when you're thrown into the circumstances, guess what? You almost become a robot-like and go and do it exactly the same. Well, that's why this life was given to now break that cycle.
Right. Automatic.
Now we know these things. Even the next generation.
You can pass it on to the next generation, and you'll be surprised what happens.
Sooner than what we
Yeah. And the funny thing is, if you pass it on, they become literally your guides. The grandchild, Grandpa, didn't you tell me not to do this? Why are you doing that? You are a hypocrite, aren't you?
practice first.
No, but that is a beautiful closing of the circle. The first Pehrey wala, चौथे Pehrey wale nu alert kar dena. Are you not doing the same thing? What you told me not to do? Provided we pass this on to them. Yeah, that's it. If you don't pass on to them, then they will also go through the same cycle. झूठा रुदन होआ दुआले खिन में भया पराया साई वस्त प्राप्त होई जिस स्यों लाया हेत. So what happened? What were we attached to? to the body, to the mind, to the memory, right? And so the sai was to prapat hoi. In the next cycle, you get the same body, same cycle again, because that's what you were in love with. You were in love with this life. Sai was a prapat hoi jisyon laya het. Whatever you yourself was attached with, he said, okay, this is your choice. Go get another body. And the cycle goes on. जिस्यों लाया हेत कहो नानक प्राणी चौथे पहरे लावी लुणिया खेत. In the fourth stage, you just lost everything, wasted the opportunity to sow the seed in the field, and that got lost completely. You did not take care of the khet, means the body. लामी लुणिया वेस्ट हो गया, बर्बाद हो गया. Now those are the four stages or things, and you will see that Gurbani will expand on this model as we keep on going through the next. It will start again from the first, and it will explain the same four stages with different words, different similes, different example, trying to reinforce this journey and this thought.